And we're just going to have questions asked by the raised hand function on the participants tab. So if you have a question, please use that. And we're just going to go right to questions for Simi. So if people want to set up their questions right now, that would be great. We're waiting on the first one. Okay, first question is from Mateus Ornelas. I hope I have your name pronounced correctly. Go ahead, Mateus.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Simi. Congrats on your pro day. I was watching the tape of the 40 and was like really impressive for a guy of your size. What you can talk about the pro day? You have it's 437, if I'm not wrong. What you can talk about the pro day? How good you think it was for your process?
Yeah, you know, I thought it went well. For me, I tested pretty well, and I mean, I was just, you know, it's honestly a blessing just to even have it, you know, with everything going on in the world and things going on. But you know, I was honestly blessed, and obviously, I felt pretty confident in what I did, and you know, I'm super happy with the results.
And if I may do a second question. On this class, like every year in the NFL, we have like great receivers, guys that can do a lot of things. What do you think that's your like big difference, or something that you can do that make that scouts and make the NFL look you with like good eyes?
Right. I think for me, just being able to be, you know, that big body receiver with that blend of size with speed, I feel like that really separates me from a lot of the other receivers in the class.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next question is from Matt Mayoko. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, and just curious, what have you been hearing from NFL teams, and you know, how do you feel that you would fit into a particular offense? Are there any offensive schemes that you kind of feel best suit your skills?
Yeah, you know, I've been hearing from a lot of other, you know, a lot of the teams. I've met with a lot of them, a lot of receiver coaches. And you know, I mean, they don't really tell much. They say that, you know, my skill set really fits in with, you know, a lot of their offenses that they're running. No one in particular that I can just name off the top of my head, but you know, they said, you know, with my size and speed, I mean, I could really fit in with, you know, any offense.
Is there a particular theme that you hear from teams about how they see you, how they envision you?
Yeah, I mean, they ask a lot of questions, you know, where I feel comfortable at, you know, whether it's in slot or whether that's on the outside. I played a little bit of both. But for the most part, they see me as like that backside, you know, outside receiver.
Thank you.
Any more questions here? Let's see. Hold on a second. Hold on, I got a string. Okay, we got Tyler Jeffries. Go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, how are you doing today?
What's going on, Tyler?
I'm doing okay. I just want to know, fast forward to you getting drafted, what is an organization and the fan base going to get out of you as a player?
You know, for me, just answering that question is everything. You know, I'm a hard worker, and I bring a level of maturity that, you know, a lot of these other guys don't have. You know, I am married. You know, I am taking that next step, and I'm providing for my wife. So that brings me that next step and gives me that edge over a lot of other people.
Hey, congratulations. We can't wait to see where you go next.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next question is from Jason Butt. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, I'm doing a story on Davis Mills, and you know, I was just wondering, you know, do you feel he's kind of being overlooked or underappreciated in this whole pre-draft process, given who he was coming to Stanford, what he's done in the games he's played at Stanford, and what you've seen on a regular basis?
Yeah. I mean, to answer your question shortly, yeah, he's definitely being overlooked, and I think he's very underrated. That man has freak talent. I mean, and you can see it too. But I mean, obviously, playing only the 12 games or however many games he ended up playing, I mean, people like to tend to overlook him. But I mean, I'm telling you, whoever takes him is going to get a good one.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, next question is from Jacob Infante. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Simi, how you doing?
What's going on? think we lost you.
Doing good. So I wanted to ask, obviously you're, a big-bodied receiver with incredible athleticism, but I wanted to look at.
Jacob, I think you're breaking up. Let's see.
Right. I'll join from another device. Hold up.
Okay. In the meantime, Adam Mack, did you have a question, or I know you had your hand raised?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Hey, Sid, how you doing?
What's going on, Adam?
Good. So you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but there's no question that there's about 4 or 5 guys who are leading the pack of the top wide receivers in this year's draft class. What would make you stick out above those guys that would make a team want to draft you?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on it a little earlier. It's that size and speed blend mixed with my maturity that I bring to the table. I think that really separates me and makes it. I mean, I would see myself in one of those top 5 group of receivers.
Okay. Let's see. Jacob, do you want to try again?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, Simi, I'll start over just in case. I don't know exactly how much you got of that. So, obviously, you're a big-bodied receiver and you're an incredible athlete. I wanted to touch a little bit about how that affects your route running. Are there any aspects that you find to be a little bit harder being as tall as you are in terms of exploding out of your breaks? And if so, what do you do to kind of work around improving upon that and making that a strength going forward?
For sure. I mean, I knew that was one of my weaknesses, dropping my weight and coming in and out of my breaks. And I knew that was one of my weaknesses going into this whole process, watching film, things like that. But so I've been working for the past, 3 months with Ricky Parole. And I would say just, for me to improve that is just repetition. I think, the more I get to do it, obviously my role in Stanford's offense this past year was a little more of that, deep ball guy, deep threat guy. So I didn't have much repetition in, those little shorter intermediate routes. And I'd say just repetition and eventually, I'm going to get that. I mean, I already feel like I'm a lot better than I was, during the season. And I'm only going to improve.
Absolutely. Thank you for being patient with me there. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Next question is from Gonzalo Fabri. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Hey, Sammy, here from Argentina. I want to ask you, which kind of players do you like to see when you watch a match at the professional level?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of guys really just looking at guys that are big body and fast. Like people that come to my head is just Julio Jones in general. That dude is a freak. He runs fast and he's big, It's sort of something that I like to, channel my game after. And, I mean, you look at old greats like Randy Moss and Megatron. These guys are big and go up and get the ball, attack the ball. So I feel like I can really emulate part of their games by watching some of their film.
All right. Next question is from Johnny Yu. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, so your biggest game this year, of course, was the UCLA game. And a lot of people open their eyes and seeing, what you can do with that game. How do you think that game has helped you, mold yourself into this draft process and into, having more people notice you that didn't know of you beforehand?
Right. I think that game really just showcased everything that I could do. I knew I could do it. It just gave me that opportunity to, at the next stage. And I mean, I really blew up. Davis had a great game and he was helping me out. And I mean, we really just took that next step. I was confident in what I could do. It was just, the time where I could showcase it to everybody.
All right. Next question is from Shrey Thacker. Go ahead, Shrey.
Hi, thank you for your time. I had a quick question about how you felt and what were your nerves like coming into the workout and how you feel after.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was a little nervous. My future depends on this. But I was just happy and excited to get going and see my guys again, get out there and really compete and show what I can do. Once that was over, a huge relief, obviously. What's done is done, and I can't really change the past now. So I'm just excited that it's over, relieved, and I'm happy to go. I'm excited to go see my wife tomorrow.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another question from Mateus. Go ahead, Mateus.
Simi, one last question. We talk a lot about like the pro day and how it's gonna be a big deal for you guys because we don't have the combine. We have a bunch of limitations on the field, off the field, what you can or can't do. What do you think that was the most hard part for in the player aspect?
In what terms? Sorry, just for the pro day, or are you talking about?
No, in general for the 2020 season.
I think for the hardest part I can speak for probably all the players was the uncertainty. You know, you don't know if you're going to be playing the next game. You don't know if you don't know what we're going to do, where we're going to practice, and just that whole uncertainty was hard. Obviously, for me, I had to leave my wife for 4 weeks. That was hard. But I would say just that whole uncertainty and not knowing what's next. That was probably the hardest thing for all the players.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, no further questions. So thank you, Simi, for joining us. We appreciate it. And our next guest will be Cenadibo.
Thank you so much.